Hello lovely Pisces, May 2024, what's it got in store for you? Okay, this is for you if you're Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. Second time I'm making this video, so one card is still out because that's as far as I got. I'm making the video while Mercury's retrograde. I'm also a Pisces. Let me know in the comment section, how has it been for you? I know, it's rendered me almost incapable of talking. Okay, I'm going to start looking at the first card because it's a really important card. We've got the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is a Piscean card for a start. It's Saturn in Pisces. Here we have Psyche, and she's walking away from 8 Cups. And, you know, she's only got like a flimsy dress on. It's cold. It's not comfortable. Those steps are damp. You know, she's thinking, Christ. And she hasn't even got any shoes on, which is a quite Piscean thing, actually. But she's wondering why didn't she stash her Crocs in a handbag? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd be thinking. But anyway, 8 of Cups. This is Saturn. Saturn is talking to you about boundaries. It's talking to you about when to walk away. Talking to you about when to put distance between yourself and a situation or yourself and a person. It's not very Piscean to have head over heart. Pisceans are like heart over heart over heart over heart. And if you're not using your heart, you're using your intuition or your gut. We try to use our head. It's not that we're not clever folk as Pisceans, because we are. But we're also fish and water creatures. So if you think about people's boundaries as scaffolding on a building, for a Piscean, that boundary is like an anchor on a boat. It's kind of on a rope. It's there. It is anchoring a situation. It's anchoring you, but it can also kind of move sometimes. You get the boat going sometimes. The rope can become rotten and sea creatures will eat it. Pisceans like to change things up. And it makes sense for a Piscean to change things up. It's what we're all about. So there's something that's been swimming around here, doing my swimming around mime, swimming around, and you've not known whether to kick it into touch. And being a Pisces, you may have shelved it or thinking, I don't know yet. For some of you, this could be a work situation. We're looking in this reading at love life, work life, destiny, channeled messages. This could be, and this is another thing that we do, is Pisces is not, great for the big days, like I'm leaving on this day or I'm doing this in 5 years. It's just we're not that linear. On the plus side, this is brilliant for creativity, imagination, all the dreamy Neptune qualities from one of your rulers, which is Neptune. But Jupiter, the other planet that we're ruled by, is calling you Pisces and saying, I want you here. I want you to do this. I want you to be fascinated. I want you to love being alive. I want you to be challenged. And that means leaving that behind, putting distance between yourself and that relationship, that job, that situation that you find yourself in. Pisces. Let me know in the comments section. By the way, I'm making this video while Mercury's retrograde, and I kid you not, I'm a lunatic. I'm like blah, 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 the whole time. I can't form proper words. I will do my best. Thank God I'm reading for Pisces. That's all I can say. Probably literally all I can say. Okay, next card up we get is the Page of Pentacles. I'm pleased to see this. Page of Pentacles comes along to remind you of seasonality, of what's seasonal in life, of this being, it's not even the long game. It's as if you're kind of growing something on a farm. It has a season, it has a time, different plants are at different stages. You've got some fully grown in the back, you've got some just sown here, you've got in the middle where he's standing, and he's peaceful. Now, Pisceans have 2 fish swimming in different directions. Swing. And you will probably be impatient and also patient at the same time. Pisces isn't usually particularly in a rush, but sometimes we think we are, and one fish is and one fish isn't. And then one fish will try and rush and the other fish will try and go in the other direction, and you'll get all kinds of flip-floppy chaos going on. I feel like there's some flip-floppy chaos going on. I feel like you may be finding it hard to find a thread of sense. And, you know, the whole of April was Mercury retrograde. It affects Pisces such a lot. Particularly, it depends what, you know, I've got Mercury in Pisces. God. So don't be hard on yourself, is what I'm trying to say. This was not meant to be straightforward, but it is interesting. You live in interesting times, Pisces. Okay. So Page of Pentacles is telling us that this is something long term, maybe even the whole start of a new cycle. We then have the King of Swords, and I'm going to take another card to go with him. Ooh, Nine of Wands. Okay. So for some of you, this is about the King of Swords, who is a slightly kind of authoritarian looking chap. He's sat there, he's got the scales of justice in one hand, he's got the sword of truth in the other hand. He looks kind of austere, doesn't he? Stern. There's mountains, they're sharp, the air is clean. This is somebody who knows their own truth. This is somebody, it can be somebody you're in a relationship with, particularly if that's an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or somebody who is a little bit unknowable, unreachable. That can be the King of Swords. The King of Swords has this thing about him where he's not comfortable in the feeling realm in particular. He's very clever, he can be very witty, but he's still communicating. He's communicating in terms of justice and truth, but not empathy and kindness in the way that you are, okay? And this, you know, this may have been building up for some time. This can be someone in a relationship. It can also be somebody at your workplace. It can be a boss. It can also represent a whole system. Let's say you're working for a large corporation and you're getting the feeling you would rather be pursuing a side hustle, or you'd rather just be in bed eating bonbons and thinking about the world, which is what all Pisceans should be doing for a living anyway, because we're fully qualified for that job. Yes. Okay. Then we get the Nine of Wands. This again is a card about territory. It's a card about boundaries, and it's a card that's telling you to protect yourself. As a Piscean, the ways that you have of protecting yourself are not the same as the other star signs. Lots of people look at Pisces from the outside, and let me know in the comments section your methods of protecting yourself. Lots of people look at Pisces from the outside and say, ooh, you know, they seem ever so vulnerable there. Yeah, maybe, until you really talk to one or watch a Pisces over a number of months. The late, great Jonathan Caner, who was a British astrologer who I absolutely loved, definitely died too early. On his channel's still up. I think his nephew does it now. It's not a YouTube channel. It's more like an old school kind of app or website, jonathancaner.com. No, I am not financially connected to them. He was really good. Anyway, he talked about Pisces in these little sort of videos with his like glorified kind of astrological waistcoat on. I was like, yes, I can get with an astrological waistcoat. And he said about Pisces something along the lines of you're kind of jumping from one thing to another in what other people would observe to be a very haphazard fashion. And people would kind of, a bit like a trapeze, people would hold their breath thinking, my God, where's the safety net for Pisces? Well, he said there's an uncanny thing with Pisceans that just when they need it, the safety net appears. And I think this is very true. And the way that a Pisces protects themselves is sometimes by being in plain sight. I mean, fish, how would a fish protect themselves? They've got to get themselves into a position where the person can't get near them. So as a fish, you go under the crack of a rock, or you just swim off into the distance. But there's another way that Pisces do it, where you are very vulnerable, but at the same time your vulnerability is your shield. Vulnerability, when you are absolutely sunk into it and it's authentic and you know yourself and you know your dark side, you know your shadow side, you know your what you're like in your exalted state and your sort of detriment, and you still accept yourself, you still love yourself, and you still present yourself just as you are. That is a full spiritual body armor right there. So what I'm saying to you, Pisces, is whatever happens in this, if you are fully occupying your own Piscean shoes, if you've even got any shoes, you are being yourself, and that is your best form of protection, is authenticity and vulnerability. Let's look at work directly, then we'll look at your love life. There'll be an extended reading for this. In the extended reading, we take the cards from your love life and we go further with them that come up in this reading. We get different decks out, we do you a different love reading, we analyse the cards, and we channel messages from your person. How do they feel about you, etc. That's the first link in the description box. Okay, work. Four of Pentacles, which is actually a work card, so that's good. We're liking that. Ooh. There's our world card, Ouroboros. There's an aeroplane in the sky that's doing the little white trails. There's something, I know, like it's probably a hideous pollutant, but there is something so hopeful when you see an aeroplane going across the sky and you just imagine loads of people are going somewhere. I'm scared of flying, by the way. Anyway, tell me your phobias in the comment section, Pisces. I wonder if there's any that we all have in common as Pisceans. Claustrophobia and flying. There you go. Okay, sorry, wrong camera. Forgot myself for a moment. Four of Pentacles for your work card. So this is the card of the Apprentice. It's also Sun in Capricorn. It's also what I call keep an eye on your purse card. Four of Pentacles, some of you may be at quite an apprentice stage in what you're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean you're literally on an apprenticeship. It just means that you're kind of in the learning boat for this particular job. I like this. It's quite nice. It's quite steady. It feels okay. Will it be enough for you in the long term? I don't think we know yet, okay? But it's also about money and being paid what you're worth. Sun in Capricorn is, again, ruled by Saturn, the same as the Eight of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces. This is Sun in Capricorn, but Capricorn's planet is Saturn. This is about being sensible, cutting your cloth accordingly. This is about budgeting, working hard. So, Pisces, you have the stamina for this. You have the ability for this. As long as you have the desire, you've kind of got it made. That will work for you. Do you have the desire? Does this do enough for you? Is it inspirational enough, Pisces? And then we have the world. Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. At work here, you are closing out something. You may be closing out the apprenticeship stage and making a decision whether to stay, or just closing out a cycle of work. What comes next, though? What comes next? I'm just going to take a couple of cards for that. Oh, yee-haw, Pisces. You only gone and got the Six of Wands. Okay. If you want to, and this is a big deal, the if you want to, because I think you could probably do most jobs. Most people could do most jobs. You give them long enough, shut them in a room for 3 weeks and they'll be able to do the job. I'm not saying that you should do that, obviously. But you know what I mean. We can all do most jobs. Maybe not the brain surgeons and stuff, but you could probably do something in that. You'd learn how to wash the instruments. You know what I mean? There'd be something. There'd be a job for you. Six of Wands is about ultimate success. You could go far in what you're doing at the moment. My question to you is, do you want to? Okay, so know that success is assured. I'm rather liking this. You're moving into a cycle of winning when it comes to work. Yeah, with the Ace of Swords. If any of you want to start your own business or side hustle or make something, monetize something that you're doing, which is a very Piscean thing to do, now's a very good time. May onwards, a really good time. Think of the 8th of May when we've got a lovely new moon. You've got some great ideas with the Ace of Swords. It's also talking about the internet, about communication, starting a vlog, blog, YouTube channel, you know, pimping up your Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. I like this combination. Or e-commerce, I'm seeing, which is a very Piscean thing, actually. It could be something you're doing as a craft, as a hobby that you can monetize. Go for it, Pisces. Don't be the daydreamy Pisces who talks about it in the pub but never does it, okay? In fact, I'd go so far as to say, if you really want to do it, don't talk about it. Get on and do it, because the time is right. Should we look at your love life? Woohoo! We've got the Page of Wands coming in. So it's fire sign energy. This is somebody coming in, it kind of represents Aries, you can see the ram. But what I would say with this is it's quick. It could be someone younger than you. You're like, yes, I remember that night. Sorry. It can be meeting somebody suddenly. So it can be being asked out on a date. It's passion, it's things revving up, you know. It's a page, it's not a king. Yeah, and there's the Two of Swords. Okay. There may be a relationship that you're in at the moment that is quite stop-starty. Page of Wands is like, yeah, let's go. I want to see you right now. Yeah, you're really gorgeous. Yeah. And then the Two of Swords is, oh, I don't know. So either one of you or both of you, and this is not really surprising after a massive month of one of the most, I don't know, discombobulating Mercury retrogrades that I've ever known, it's not surprising that you don't know which way is up when it comes to this relationship, okay? And if it pleases one of your fish, it probably won't please the other. Oh, lovely, you get the Emperor, good. Now the Emperor is when somebody is going to direct things a bit more. They're going to come up with something. They're going to initiate something. And I think this is what is needed, okay, is initiation. The Emperor is divine masculine, kind of a bit like the King of Swords. You can sort of see the similarities, but more powerful. And then the Chariot. There is a bit more will they, won't they energy about the Chariot. 2 horses and 1 charioteer, okay? He can't always ride them both, but, God, this whole thing is turning into a Benny Hill thing, isn't it? Or is it just me and my sewer-like mind? Okay, 2 horses, and he's got to keep them both under control, okay? This is almost the pinball of yes, no, stay, go, shall I, shan't I? Ooh, there's a feeling of ambivalence that I don't quite understand, Pisces. It feels like you've got 2 choices here, sort of. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles, which is about considering how much you've put into something already. And the 5 of Swords, Venus and Aquarius. I would say in your love life, there's an opportunity here, but it's kind of a bit hanging on a knife edge. You don't quite know if it's going to go forward or not. They may have been hot and cold. Ooh, your love card is commitment. I'm liking that, especially with the Emperor, but you may find at the moment you're in a bit of a tangle with it and you're wondering when it's ever going to make sense. Remember with the 2 of Swords that it's 2 aces of swords crossing each other. So the way forward has not been made yet, okay? But it looks very promising to me. 5 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles is when you consider something. How much have I put into it? How much is it worth to me? Five of Swords, Venus in Aquarius, is where somebody, King of Swords, is distant in some way, but also wants to be close to you at the same time. Two horses in different directions. Whew, Pisces, never mind two fish swimming in different directions. You got two horses galloping in different directions with two fish swimming in different directions. Oh my God. Okay, Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go do the extended reading. We're going to look at those two different directions. Going to look at the Eight of Cups. Going to look at the Two of Swords, the Emperor. What's holding this situation back? And what's the complicated weirdness behind it? It's the first link in the description box. Leave me a comment and I'll see you soon. Namaste.